I'm going to give you my best free resources for a self-taught artist. I've been making art for a couple of years now, and I've accumulated a set of courses and books and people I like to follow who've helped me progress in my art a lot. So I think if you follow these same resources, you also make a lot of progress in your art. The order that I'm going to talk about them is going to be in the order of how much I've used each individual resource. The first one that I would recommend for complete beginners is Drawabox. So Drawabox is a course that teaches you all of the fundamentals of drawing, and if you're a complete beginner, that would be the first one that I would recommend for you. There's a couple of main things that you can learn from Drawabox. The first one is how to properly draw using your shoulder. A problem that a lot of beginners have is that they draw from their wrist, and one, it limits how much range you have in terms of the lines that you can draw, and your drawings also look really scratchy and your wrist starts to hurt a lot. So that's one of the problems that I had for a while. Drawabox teaches you how to draw from your shoulder, which is the proper way to do it, and it allows you to produce much longer and smoother lines with your drawings. The second main thing that you learn from Drawabox is construction from 3D objects. So construction is how to draw the shapes you want to draw, starting from their most basic components like cubes and spheres and cylinders. And Drawabox teaches you how to do that in 3D, which is really difficult, but it does a great job of teaching you that, and it allows you to draw much more complex shapes than you did previously. The third main thing that I learned from Drawabox is how to improve my line art. So before, like a lot of other beginners, when I drew something, the line had the same thickness all the way around. But after taking Drawabox, it teaches you how to vary the thickness of the line to highlight the more interesting parts of the image, and it allows your images to look a lot more dynamic and real. One piece of advice I would give for people who want to do Drawabox is to take your time with the 250 box challenge. I think the reason that a lot of people quit Drawabox is they try to do the entire box challenge before moving on, and I think that's a mistake. The way I did it was I would draw 10 or 15 boxes a day and then move on to the next part of the course. So I would draw 10 or 15 boxes and then draw like a plant or a bug or something like that. So definitely take your time with that and don't try to finish all of the challenges before moving on. The second resource that I'm going to recommend is Brunet. So Marc Brunet is known for his online paid digital course, but he actually has a YouTube channel that has a lot of the same information that he gives in his digital art course, as far as I can tell. So he's been a concept illustrator artist for studios like Blizzard for a while, so he has a lot of experience. And from what I've seen in his channel, he's really good at teaching anatomy and also shading. Of course, he also has a lot of other information like portrait drawing, color theory, things like that. For me, the thing that benefited me the most from his teaching is his process of how to properly approach learning art. So he has a lot of videos teaching you how to keep track of your progress, how to set goals for yourself, that part of the learning process. And that's probably what helped me the most, even more than his actual technical tutorials on how to draw, the limbs and the fingers and stuff like that. So if you're interested in doing digital art or you want to be a concept artist for a big studio, definitely go check him out. The third resource that I'm going to recommend is someone called Angel Geneb. This person is my go-to guide for how to draw the specific features of the face, like the lips, the nose, the eyes, especially the nose and the lips. He also has a great video on the anatomy of the face in general. Kind of like a weird sense of humor. It's not for everybody, but I think he's pretty entertaining. So if you like funny jokes, go check him out. He also has a bunch of free PDFs that he puts at the bottom in the description box of his tutorials, so you can actually go through the worksheets and follow along in his video, which is super helpful. I wish more people did that, to be honest. The next person I'm gonna recommend is someone called Monex. He has a really cool and distinctive art style, and his cross-hatching and shading is probably my favorite part of his art that I've taken a lot into my own art, and it's helped me improve the quality of my drawings. He specifically has this one video that talks about how to outline the outside of a portrait to make it more professional. And I've used that ever since that video, and it's like made all my stuff look that much better. So definitely go check that video out specifically. I would say if you're interested in drawing portraits. He also posts a bunch of tutorials for beginners. I think right now he's like trying really hard to get 1 million subscribers or something, so he's posting like 3 times a week. There's tips and tricks videos. So like a lot of the times when people post tips and tricks videos, it's kind of just for the sake of getting views, and the tricks aren't very good or useful. But his tips and tricks actually help a lot, so go check those out too. Next up is Andrew Loomis. Andrew Loomis is the gold standard for figure drawing and portrait drawing. So a lot of the people that I'm going to mention in this video, they actually base a lot of their teachings on Andrew Loomis, especially his techniques for head drawing. He has a couple of books that are pretty famous, and they're all free for download. So you can find the PDF files online. Actually, I'm gonna put a PDF file down in the description that contains links to all of the people and resources that I mentioned in this video. So go download that if you're interested. So I would say Andrew Loomis's figure drawing book combined with me going to a bunch of these figure drawing events that are like $5 to $15. So it's not free, but it's pretty cheap for like a 2-3 hour model to pose for you. Those two things combined have helped me improve my drawing of figures a lot. He also has some stuff on shading, which I haven't gotten to in the book yet, but I will. Number 6 is a manga artist called Draw Like a Sir. He has a YouTube channel, and it's mostly tutorials for character drawing. And I would say he has some of the best tutorials for character drawing that I've seen, and he has everything, right? Like foreshortening, dynamic poses, how to draw hands especially. Also, he has the best tutorials on drawing hair. So if you have trouble drawing hair, go check him out. He has tutorials for how to draw long hair, short hair, male hair, female hair, everything, all kinds of hair. And I haven't really found anyone else who has helped me draw hair that much. He also talks a little bit about his experience as a manga artist. So if you're interested in drawing manga or anime, he might be a good fit for you. The next resource is also a YouTube channel called Lofi. Now, Lofi is also a manga/anime artist, and he especially has a bunch of tutorials on how to use different media for drawing. So what I mean by that is like watercolor, gouache, Copic markers, also digital. I would say he mostly focuses on watercolor and digital art. So kind of a weird combination, but if you're into either of those things, go check his channel out. The last person on my list is Proko. Now I know Proko is probably the biggest YouTube channel of everyone that I've talked about. But the reason why he's so low on my list is just that I personally haven't used Proko that much, except for their tutorial on how to draw heads. The main thing that I like about Proko is that they have a bunch of interviews with professional artists, and they talk about the kinds of advice that they would give to their younger selves and the process that they went through to become a pro artist. I know that they're also known for their figure drawing videos. I just haven't checked that out yet. There's also paid courses on their website, but I think a lot of the stuff is covered in their free videos online. They do have a free model pack, which is pretty cool. I've actually downloaded that free model pack myself and used it for my figure drawing references. So make sure to go in the description and download my free PDF if you need links to any of the resources that I talked about. If you're interested in seeing some of the art that I've been able to make by using these resources, make sure to go check out this video over here. He also posts a bunch of the next